Making progress. Here we go. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle Stuchel, and I have been around for about 7.5 years. I'm a Sapphire, and I am so excited and honored to share with you. And if you had asked me 7 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, if I could be talking on this topic, I would think that you were smoking something. Because I did not like the word sales. And now I love it. Guess what? You are in sales. And it's not a dirty word. It's not. Let me ask you a question. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a restaurant. Okay? Now raise your hand if you've ever been to a good restaurant. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a bad restaurant. Did you start thinking that all restaurants were bad or slimy or awful? No. You just decided there were good restaurants and you knew what to look for in a good restaurant, right? Okay, well, there are a lot of people, and I was one of them, that did not like the word or the connotation of sales. But let me tell you something. If that is you, and you may have a sneaky suspicion that one or two of you may be like, I just share. I share my products. I share what I like. I don't sell. This is what I said. People would ask me what I do, and I'm like, I hate that question. And I would be like, oh, well, I sell good health products, but what I really love is leadership development. I really love to develop leaders, and that's really what I love to do. Like sales is a dirty word. But it's not. It's actually beautiful and wonderful. And here's the thing. If you do not love that word, if you have a limiting belief around the concept of sales, you will never outperform the quality of your thinking, and you will be held back, not only in your business, but in your life. What if sales could actually be your superpower? Can you imagine that there's actually a universe where you become so magnetic, so certain of what you have, so completely in love with and certain about it, that people are drawn to you and will buy from you and they don't even know what you're selling? There is a world like that out there. You just have to get there. Now, let me tell you, I had limiting beliefs around sales up until, well, pretty recently. And I first realized it when I was a Sapphire. I was in Jessica Heffley's Leading Ladies class, and we had to do all these self-assessments, okay? I'm getting pretty vulnerable here. All these self-assessments, strength test, strength finder, there's, like 5 or 6 different assessments. And I love that. It's very interesting to me. And one of them gave your top 3 strengths. And it was like leadership, training, or something. And sales. And when that came up, I was like, and I got to do a Zoom with Jessica, who's number 2 in the company. And she started telling me how you feel about that. And I said, well, if I'm honest, I don't really like that. And she gets this little twinkle in her eye. She goes, that's fascinating. Tell me more. And I said, I just don't like that word. I think, sales. I don't want to be good at sales. Really? Why? I don't know. I feel like I'm manipulating. I don't know. People don't like it. I don't like it. I don't even know why. And she encouraged me to dig down into that belief. Why didn't I like that? And let me tell you, it's been a little bit of a journey. But what I can tell you now is that if someone asked me, and I can't remember, Brittany, when were we doing this? Someone said, if you could master one skill in life, what would it be? Do you know what I would say without even hesitating? Sales. Because here's the truth. Sales in its purest form is service. Sales is helping people to change the way they think And when you change the way someone thinks, you change their life. Who wants to be in the business of changing lives? Me. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. 5 points if you know what movie that's from. Yeah, maybe that's okay. A few good minutes. So, sales can be your superpower. And you are all in sales. And that's a beautiful thing because that means that you are a professional problem solver. That's what you get to do. And guess what sales has nothing to do with? You. Right. Sales has nothing to do with you. Sales has everything to do with the woman that you are serving. So when you're sitting here telling yourself you don't want to be in sales, you are telling yourself you don't want to be serving other people. You don't want to be a part of their transformation. You want people to stay stuck where they are because you're more concerned with how they're going to view you or your feelings or your life or fill in the blank instead of their solution and transformation. Let me just explain to you the power in this. If Brittany had not shared with me, I'm 100% convinced that my husband would be a widower and my children would not have me because I would have been one of those ones that would have been off by COVID. Yeah. I had awful respiratory issues, awful allergies, awful. So it would have been the one, I would have been the one, because I was a demographic, respiratory issues, COVID probably would have offed me. Let that sink in. Not to mention the fact that my children wanted to, and then if I still would get someone was going to die because I was still homeschooling my kids and that was not going very well. So, my income provided a way for us to put our kids in the best Christian school in the area with Brittany's kids, which was like icing on the cake. And we've taken our girls on their first international trips. My husband can sleep better at night because, anyway, that's a whole other story. Asian parents that don't have savings, blah, blah, blah. But she thought of me, not about what I was thinking of her. You will never outperform the quality of your thinking. And the very first thing we need to get in our head is that sales is your superpower. What if you believe that sales was your superpower? Everything could change. Now, why do we have limiting beliefs about sales? Let's get real here. Shout them out. Fear. Fear. What are people going to think of me? So again, that's self-centered. What else?
Don't want to be that girl.
Don't want to be that girl. What does that mean? That girl.
Pushy.
Pushy. Okay. What else? Not authentic. Okay. Slimy. Not authentic. Good. Manipulative. Do what I want. That's manipulation. Do what I want, not what's good for you. Again, that is self-centered. What else? Annoying. So not only anything else.
She just wants to make a buck.
Yeah. She just wants to make a buck. Just concerned about your own income. What else? Okay, so if you have these thoughts, I forget who did a thought model yesterday. So what happens when you have these thoughts? I don't want to be pushy, I don't want to be that girl, I don't want to be manipulative. That is a thought. And it creates feelings. What are some of the feelings that we have around sales? The feelings, not the thoughts.
Guilt.
Embarrassing. Shame. Fear. Awesome. And so when you feel these things like embarrassment, shame, all these things, what actions do you take? None. What results do you get? None. You're not in this room because you want none. You're in this room because you have dreams and a goal and vision for what you want your life to be. But let me just expand that vision for you a little bit this morning. You are actually in this room because God has given you a gift in plexus. And he not only wants you to, but expects you to take what he's put in your hand and gain a return, because there are people out there like me and like most of you that are counting on your not only obedience, but your faith and your love for them so that they can have their transformation.
Yes.
Preach. Thank you. He expects that. But we get to do that. We get to do this. If sales really is changing the way people think and then changing their lives, we get to do this. Can you believe that? Not only an impact, but an income that's life-changing. That's incredible. Incredible. What a gift. Now, you know what's funny? Some people don't even know why they have these negative thoughts. I was on a welcome call. Was it with you, Rachel? We were on a welcome call with a woman, and we were talking to this. The conversation was going great. We asked a magic question, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, yeah, I just don't like sales. I'm like, oh, really? Well, tell me more about that. Why? I just don't like it. Oh, well, gee, I don't. Sales. It turns out, years ago, when they lived in Panama, it was Milton. They lived in Panama. They were doing some kind of direct sales, and her stepfather had stolen all the money that they made, which had nothing to do with sales. But here she had this weird belief about sales. She didn't like it, and she didn't even know why. If we're not, asking questions to figure it out, we are allowing limiting beliefs and negative thoughts to keep us in a place of none. I'm not here for that. I don't want that. And I think you don't either. So listen, one of the things we said yesterday, I don't remember who said it, was some people can have a negative opinion about network marketing. I was one of them. I didn't want to be that girl. I didn't want to be, and as I started to understand and think about why, can I tell you why? It's because a lot of times we see sales done poorly.
Yeah.
The beauty of network marketing is that anyone can do it. The curse of network marketing is that anybody can do it. And Eric Worre said this. He said, a lot of the times network marketing gets a bad rap because most of the time we're looking at the amateurs instead of the professionals. And a lot of times it's because we have not taken the time to master the skill set of sales. We're using cookie cutter messages. Hey girl. And we're not even thinking about how the other person is receiving it. We're checking off a box, we're trying to get all the free resets we can, we're sending out messages, but we're really not interested in transformation. We're trying to get it done, and we haven't taken the time to master the skill set of sales. But here's the good news. You can. You can become a master in sales, and that is beautiful. And I hope and pray that each one of you, as you leave, will have a hunger and a love of sales and will dig in. Because here's the deal. It's not, your content is not the reason your business is not growing. It's not your strategy or the fact that you didn't get people in the detox challenge or whatever. All business is conversations. The GOAT, Eric Worre, said all business is conversations. We spent all this time on ChatGPT yesterday and content and brand. But guess what? If you don't have sales skills, it doesn't matter. Chat GPT and Brandon, all that is going to help free up, this is what Emily and Terry said, will free you up so that you can spend the time on the most important aspect of your business, which is conversations and mastering that skill set of sales. That needs to be your number one priority. It does not matter what your strategy is if you have skills in sales. You want a team? You need sales skills. You're not going to have a team if you don't have sales skills. And listen, the goal of sales is not for someone to buy from you. It's to make them a believer. A lot of times we think sales is an event. Sales is an event, it's a process. And your goal is to make them a believer in the same way that you believe. Okay, imagine this. Your person is over here, your client is over here, okay? Now you're over here. That person is on an island over there, and you're on an island over here. And we think we're on the Plexus Island in the Bahamas. We're having a great time. And we believe in gut health, we believe in our business, because we've got two things that we're selling, right? We have life-changing gut health products, and we have a life-changing opportunity. And by the way, if you're not sharing a life-changing opportunity, you are missing half the boat. Because most people are not going to bed worried about their gut health, especially this time of year. They're worried about Christmas and credit card debt and all the things because the economy sucks, but it's about to turn around. But money is their big fear. And we are selling a boat. Okay? This is the island that we live on. But they're over here on this side. Okay? So how do you get them over to our island? Because that is your goal. Your goal is to help transform the way they think.
Yeah.
So that they will transform their lives. Okay? But here's the deal. She's on an island, you're on the island, and there's all this water. There's all this water between you. Okay? And when she looks down in that water, she's like, this is what I see. This is scary. Been there, done that. Don't like sales, don't like network marketing, don't like, that's not what I tried to do these 10, 15 times, dozen times, isn't working. She's looking down and seeing her current reflection in the waters, okay? The way that you're going to get her over to your island is through the bridge of belief. Imagine this beautiful bridge, okay? The bridge of belief. And this bridge of belief has all these notches on it. And these notches are different exposures, because remember, sales is not an event, it is a process. And so each time you give her new information, it is a notch in the stepping stone to get her over to your island, because there is a universe where people are rallying around the same things you're rallying around. They share your vision, they want what you want. Your job is to help them climb over the bridge of belief. And when she's sitting there looking down at her reflection, you are there to help her look up and see what could be instead of seeing what is now. That's what you get to do. And then she starts to be transformed. And here's the thing. Transformation is on the other side of those beliefs. But when she's looking down and she's seeing her reflection, and some of you may be even sitting here thinking, how can I do this? Because we all know that there are belief gremlins out there, right? You can't do this. I can't do this. It's not going to work for me. I'm not like her. I can't talk like her. I tried it before and I lost money. Fill in the blank. What are all of these? These are objections and thoughts, right? I'm telling you this, and particularly about sales, if you believe that sales is your superpower, well, let me say it this way. Your current level of thinking, mine too, will never get you where you want to go. You have to transform your thoughts. You have to grow. So what if if you could believe that sales was your superpower, would you be willing to literally not just get rid of your old thoughts about sales, but literally freaking obliterate them? Obliterate them. So that you can have the radical transformation that you want in your business and in your life, and then get to offer it to her and help her cross her belief bridge. That's what we're talking about. I'm done playing small ball. Obliterate those thoughts. And take yourself over the belief bridge so that you can help her get over there too. Because that's what we're after. We are after transformation. And the more certain you become of this, certain people are sold people. Certain people are sold people, and sold people are certain people. And then guess what happens? You're passionate. You're excited. You're enthusiastic. And John Maxwell says this: passion is the leader's best friend. How would you respond to someone saying, yeah, you know, me 10, 20, 5, 10, $500, $1,000. You can go to Hawaii if you want with your husband. It may or may not be for you. I don't know. I mean, I see you're struggling in debt, but it may or may not be for you. No. But if I see the power in what I have and how it can transform somebody's life, you get to be the one that tells them what could be and should be for their lives. So let's talk about that a little bit. Here's the deal. It is not about you. Okay, not about you. So, well, let me say this first. When you get this, when you fall so in love with sales as a skill set and wanting to master sales, I'm here to tell you, you will not only become unrecognizable, but you will be unstoppable. You know what my one word was yesterday? Unstoppable. And that's not because I'm so great. Because I'm not. I almost said it. I'm not. But I know that if I master these skills of sales, I will be. Because you change the way people think and then help them change their lives. You know who's the greatest salesperson of all time? Jesus. I'm happy to follow him. And here's the thing. As someone who masters sales, guess what? You get to die to yourself. Because it's not about you. It's about her. You don't think about yourself. You don't look at yourself. It has nothing to do with you, which is why you can be just starting out and tell people where you're going and come with me. Because it's not about you. It's about her and getting her the transformation she wants. But what do? Most of the time, we're sitting here talking about the purchase, the products, and the transaction instead of the transformation. So let's talk about what does the actual conversation look like. Bob Heilig says this. Well, first of all, Bob Heilig says skills are the most important to your business. I hope it excites you more as much as it does me. It's brand is not your superpower. Your post is not your superpower. A great graphic is not your superpower. Did I say power or power? All business is conversations. All business. And the whole point of yesterday was to bring you up to have more time, to have more conversations. So there's two types. Bob Heilig says this. There are two types of sales conversations. Okay. There are transactional conversations and there are transformational. Okay, what does a transactional sales conversation look like? It's all about product and price. If I come with enough info, they will buy. It's a pitch, it's about product, and it's price focused. May look something like this. Free reset month, $90 value, get it quick, only this month. Free reset, free reset, free reset, free reset. Transformation. Well, let me see this. Here's the thing. We've had free resets before. Biggest month ever. And not last month, yeah, huge exciting, and it's wonderful. And I'm talking about the free reset too. So I'm not saying it's bad to talk about the free reset. But if you've been around for a minute, you also know that one big month does not always translate into ongoing momentum, because we are so focused on the transaction and the sale and the product and the price, and there's no emotional connection to bring them back. We think that free and discounts and I'm gonna cover your shipping is a way that we create value, but honestly, we're only creating problems for ourselves, because transaction does not create customer loyalty or retention. They join and then never buy from you again until there's another free reset, you clear their account, they come in and you get it free reset again. Because there's no emotion, there's no connection. They don't join because there's a problem to be solved, they're just looking at a free item and it's price and product driven. But what we are really after is transformation. And we don't create value by telling somebody about a free product or the price, et cetera, et cetera. It's transformational conversations are focused on a couple things. Number one, the problem that they are trying to solve. Okay? You must uncover their problem and have a clear understanding of the problem and the payoff that they want. The problem and the payoff. What do they want? And how do you do this? Through conversations. And the key element to these transformational conversations is asking purposeful questions so that you can discover their need, their problem, and then see how what we have is the answer to their problem. What we have is the vehicle to get them from where they are to where they want to be. You are the transformational sales leader to lead them over the bridge of belief to your island so that they can have their transformation. Not about you at all, it's about them. Okay, so say someone tells you that they want to lose weight, okay? And we're like, boom, I got you covered, free reset month. And you get pivotal and you get okay? We got a challenge, it's gonna be awesome. Okay. You're going to save so much money. Transactional. Here is what a transformational conversation could look like. Okay, you want to lose weight. Let me ask you a question. How much weight do you want to lose? Have you tried to do this before? Well, let me ask you this. How is this affecting your life? If, say you lose, okay, they tell you they want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, so how are you going to feel when you lose that 20 pounds? How's that going to change things for you and your family? How are you going to feel? What could that look like? What would reaching this goal mean for you and your family? And that doesn't have to be about just weight, it's anything. The business, the money. You're asking them questions to get to the emotion and the why. What would reaching this goal mean for you? If you lost this weight, what would that mean for you? When we understand what transformational sales conversation looks like, we realize that cookie cutter conversations go out the window. Because you're dealing with a unique person and their needs and their problems, and not the assumptions that you have about what their issues are. So how do we do this? We do this by communicating, asking purposeful questions and then get to the emotion. Because what this does is when you ask them that question, how will you feel when you reach your goal? How do you feel when you drop that weight? Or when you're not stuck in bed and you have to take a nap and you can't play with your kids? How do you feel when you have the energy to be the mom that you really want to be? It's because the emotions is what drives people to make decisions, okay? There are two parts of your brain, okay? The neocortex, which is the logical side, it's your conscious, it justifies decisions, and it's responsible for language, okay? But then you have your limbic system over here. It's emotional, it's your subconscious, it's where you make gut decisions. But here's the thing, you know what? It has no capacity for language. No capacity for language. And that limbic system is the part of your brain that's responsible for decision making. And it has no capacity for language. Do you know what registers? Emotions. Think about that word emotion. Motion. Motion. When somebody is filled with emotion, guess what they're going to do? They get in motion. That's why you have to touch them with their emotions. How will they feel when they reach this goal? How will you feel when you get to take your husband on this cruise? How will you feel when you can pay off that debt? You touch their emotions. But we're so busy telling them about pivotal and about perks and about all this stuff. What we're doing is we are so focused on, instead of thinking who they're going to become, we're sitting here telling them what it comes with instead of who I become with. Let me say that again. We're so focused on what it comes with instead of who do I become with. You got to tap into the emotions through purposeful questions. So here are some of examples of purposeful questions. This is ChatGPT, by the way. Why is it important for you to make a change in this area right now? What a great question. Someone comes to you where you get a conversation going because of the free reset, and they tell you their issues. They say, well, why is it, let me ask you this, why is it important for you to make a change in this right now? That would make me think, right? Here's another one. How do you think you'll feel once you reach your health goals? How do you think you'll feel once you reach that income goal? Or when you're making $500 a month? What would this do for you and your family? What's been the most challenging part of trying to improve your health? Here's the thing, the more questions you can ask, that is data. And you know what? Data leads to dollars. You need clarity. And if your goal really is their transformation and solving their problem, the more data you get, the more that you can specifically address their needs. Data is dollars. And then you can create a custom response to them. It's like the difference between a spec home and a builder's home. I mean, a spec home and a custom home. Okay, we live in a beautiful home, but it was a spec home. And sometimes it's a beautiful home. I'm so thankful for my home. But so I'm like, I'm going to build this home. I have a huge kitchen and my laundry room. I can't even lay down without my butt hitting the wall. I have a 2.5 car garage on the other side of it and this massive kitchen. Obviously, the architect did not do laundry. It's just weird. And then the family, it's not like these, I'm so thankful for my home. But it was a spec home. And it doesn't necessarily always feel like me. Now contrast that with, because of her Plexus business, Brittany was able to build a custom home that she and her husband drew the plans based on their specific needs the needs of their family, their children, and exactly what they wanted. They addressed their problems. In every aspect, every outlet, the placement of the closet, the flow of conversation was built because of the vision, the transformation for their family. It fits. So the more, but we have, it's the data. They needed to know, like, lots of questions to figure out, well, where do we want this? How do we want this to look? And it's the same way. The more data you can get from the person that you're talking to, the more you'll be able to give them something that fits for them. It's that we're after. Sales isn't about you. It's about them. And here's the thing. Being a master of selling begins with connecting. This is what it's about. You don't get to the transformation without the connection. We want to get so quickly to the end result or to what we're talking about, but it comes through connecting. You lead the conversation by questioning, by asking questions and listening. Because our goal is to move them over the bridge of belief to make them a believer, not just a buyer. And our goal is to understand the whole person, not just how to get them products or how an incentive will solve their problem. For the business, in a dream world, what would you want your life to look like? Tell me, what will this money allow for you and your family? The more data you can get by questions, purposeful questions, you will get more clarity. And clarity is the fast track to compensation. Clarity is walking back over the bridge from your island to their island and wondering why they are still there and what they need to believe to get back over. Here's the thing. Connecting may feel slow, but it's actually what speeds everything else up and makes it more effective. Because let me tell you, you're not after efficiency, you're after effectiveness. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, I don't need 5,000 joins this month. I'm looking for people to pour into that are going to be with me for the long haul. And so when you are, these notches on the bridge of belief, a lot of that will come through objections, and so you'll hear from them what they want, and so you know how to address objections, right? What you are realizing is that helping them to get over the bridge of belief into your island, it really is all about them. You are authentic and communicating with them and connecting around their transformation. Okay. Here's the deal. People do not know how good their lives can be. People do not know how good their lives can be. People do not know how good they can feel physically. People do not know that they can create not just the job of their dreams, but the life of their dreams. You get to be the one that shows them. You get to be the one that connects with them and draws that out and wakes them up. And you get to do that by mastering the skill of sales. It's not a dirty word. It's beautiful. And in its purest form, it is service. It's problem solving. It's changing the way they think so that they will take a different action. If you change the way they think, change their lives. It's transformation. That's what you get to do. Your job description is professional problem solver. So do you think it would be worth it to learn how to master the skill set of sales?
Yeah.
Would it be worth it for you to obliterate the limiting beliefs you have around this and dig deep, spend some time digging into this skill set so that you can become not only unrecognizable, but unstoppable?
Yeah.
For you to be able to say, okay, Lord, you gave me this, here's my return. And then to hear him say, well done, good and faithful servant. Let's do it, ladies.